One human alone on the savanna. He has about 45 minutes. Being alone today means no one to text back. For most of human history, being alone meant something very different. It meant you were cut off from literally every survival system you had. Your fire, your food, your protection, your medical care, your information. Everything you needed to live was stored in other people. One human, alone, in the ancient world was not a lifestyle choice. It was a crisis. The tribe was not social. Well, it was social, but that's not the important part. The tribe was survival infrastructure. Fire rotation, so the fire never goes out. Hunting coordination, so the hunt works. Child care, so the children survive. Medical support, so the injured don't die alone. Information storage, so one person's knowledge about the water source survives even if they don't. Every one of these things requires multiple people. Every one of them disappears if you're alone. The math of lone survival is unfavorable. A coordinated tribe can hunt large animals, keep fire burning through the night with rotating watchers, and care for injured members. One human alone hunts small prey only, falls asleep and the fire goes out, has no one to help if injured, faces the same predators that the whole tribe faces, except alone, with one spear, and probably tired because they've been doing night watch by themselves. The tribe wasn't nice to have. It was the minimum viable survival unit. Here's what makes being alone genuinely terrible. Your body knows it's dangerous. When you're separated from your group, your threat detection system goes to maximum sensitivity. Cortisol floods your system. You become hypervigilant. Your brain starts finding threats everywhere, because in the ancient environment, that was the correct response. Sleep becomes harder and lighter, because sleeping deeply when alone was potentially a one-way trip. Loneliness physiologically feels like danger, because historically it was danger. Loneliness hurts, literally. The same brain regions that process physical pain also process social rejection and isolation. When ancient humans felt the pain of separation from the tribe, they were feeling a genuine pain signal, a warning just as urgent as the pain of a wound. Get back to the group, right now. This is an emergency. The pain wasn't metaphorical. It was the same pain system your body uses for injuries, just applied to social isolation. The tribe was so important that your brain used the same alarm for losing it as for losing a limb. In the ancient world, the worst punishment wasn't death, it was exile. Death was over quickly. Exile was a slow death administered by the environment. You left the tribe with your spear and your knowledge and nothing else. You were now alone. You had no fire rotation partner, no hunting partner, no one to watch while you slept, no one to help if you were injured. Exile was not go away. Exile was, we are sentencing you to everything that the savanna at night and alone entails. Good luck. Most didn't make it far. Every civilization codified exile. Ancient Athens voted people out via ostracism, writing their name on a pottery shard. Rome had water and fire interdiction, exiling someone from literally water and fire, the two foundations of civilized life. Medieval outlawry meant you were outside the law's protection. Anyone could do anything to you with no legal consequence. The specific form varied, the function was the same. We are removing you from the human social structure that keeps people alive. You are now a lone human on the savanna. Figure it out. The fear of exile kept tribes functional. When a tribe member did something that threatened the group, hoarded food, failed at fire watch, betrayed information to rival groups, the other tribe members didn't need a complex legal system to respond. The punishment was simple: leave. And the offending member, who knew exactly what leave meant, had a very strong incentive to cooperate. The social contract of the ancient world was enforced entirely by one threat: the alternative. The tribe's imperfections were bearable. The alternative was not. Not all aloneness was exile. Sometimes it was simply losing track of the tribe. A migration, a hunt, a child wandering, and suddenly, alone. Not by choice, not by punishment, just separated. In the modern world, separated from your group means text them. In the ancient world, separated from your group at dusk on the savanna meant you had until dark to find them, And after dark, you are now a lone human at night, with no fire, with no backup, with all the same predators. The most dangerous version of being alone. Alone while injured. In a tribe, an injured member had helpers. Someone to carry them, someone to tend the wound, someone to do their fire watch. Alone and injured in the ancient world was a very specific cascade. Fall behind the group, unable to keep pace, unable to defend yourself effectively, fire impossible to maintain through the night, and now predators who can detect the injury. The ancient fear of being alone was amplified tenfold by any injury. Injury plus aloneness. The combination was almost always final. Not all aloneness was catastrophic. Brief aloneness in familiar daytime territory was part of normal life. Foraging, checking traps, brief scouting runs. The key variables: daytime, familiar territory, visible or audible distance from camp. These made brief aloneness manageable. Ancient humans understood the distinction. Temporary controlled separation was fine. What was unacceptable? Unknown territory, nighttime, out of range of help, extended duration. They calibrated the fear appropriately. The tribe wasn't only a survival machine, it was also where humans were human. Stories, games, songs, shared meals. The particular pleasure of someone knowing your name and being glad to see you. The ancient brain didn't just need the tribe for fire rotation and predator defense. It needed the tribe to function as itself. Isolation removes the survival functions, yes, but it also removes everything that made survival worth doing. The loneliness of being without other humans isn't just dangerous, it's diminishing. Modern loneliness statistics are alarming. In the United States, approximately 36% of adults report serious feelings of loneliness. Loneliness increases mortality risk equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The physiological response is identical to the ancient version: cortisol, hypervigilance, sleep disruption, immune suppression. The alarm is the same alarm. It is going off in modern cities because the condition it was designed to detect, separation from essential social support, is genuinely present. The environment changed. The alarm didn't. The modern solution to the ancient problem? The phone. It is, in evolutionary terms, an extremely new prosthetic for the ancient social infrastructure. When you text your friends, you're checking in with the tribe. When you scroll social media, you're monitoring who's alive and what's happening. The same scan your ancient ancestor did looking around the fire circle. It doesn't fully satisfy the alarm because the alarm wants physical proximity, but it reduces it, partially. The tribe moved to your pocket. The distinction the ancient brain actually makes is not are you alone, but are you cut off from support. Voluntary solitude, time alone when you could rejoin the tribe at any time, was not the alarm. The alarm was involuntary separation, unknown duration, unknown whether reconnection was possible. A modern person choosing to be alone for an afternoon doesn't trigger the alarm. A person who has lost connection with everyone they know, full alarm. The alarm is accurate. It reads the situation correctly. The loneliness alarm has specific requirements for what quiets it. Not entertainment, not information. Physical proximity to other humans who know you. Being someone that others would notice the absence of. Having people who would look for you if you were missing. These are precisely the functions the tribe provided. Modern cities can supply all of this, or none of it. Proximity to 8 million people who don't know your name does not satisfy the alarm. One person who knows your name and would notice if you were gone. It helps significantly. Grunt returns to camp. Someone kept the fire. Someone nods at his return. He sits down. He's in the right place. He wasn't afraid of being alone today. He was within sight of camp the whole time. But the return still feels correct. The fire, the other people, the familiar sounds. This is what the alarm was protecting. This, not a preference, a survival state. The exile person's best option was to find another tribe. Exiles who survived did this, joined new groups, often as junior members starting with no status. Some were accepted. The option? Be useful to a new tribe or be alone. The same calculation the tribe enforced through exile. Humans need human groups. The exiled person, If they were wise, immediately started looking for a new one. The ancient tribe tolerated difference more than people assume, if you were useful. Skill was social currency. The odd one who was really good at tracking plant cycles stayed in the tribe because their knowledge was worth the social friction. The fear of being exiled drove people to be useful. Usefulness was the membership fee. Different was survivable. Useless was the actual threat to membership. Grunt doesn't think about being alone much. He thinks about not being alone. The tribe is the ground state. Alone is the emergency. That framing, tribe is normal,